Midwives and Nurses. Hoy estamos aquí en este programa bilingüe que vamos a tratar de hacerlo. Ya se está uniendo la gente. I'm going to do a little introduction about what we do at the Healing Arts Egbe. Let me have Jahmanna join us. Vamos a hacer una introducción sobre lo que hacemos aquí en el... Jahmanna, join us in a minute. Jahmanna se está uniendo a nosotros ahora. Ella es partera, está desde Detroit. There you go, girl. Hey, the sisters are on board.
Yes.
How you doing,
Heather, Heather might
Yes.
join us later. She knows what to do, but we'll see. We'll see if she joins
Okay.
us.
Okay, so we're gonna just do a little introduction on what the Healing Arts Egbe is first, and because a lot of people, it's a new page. Es una página nueva. I'm gonna try to do bilingual,
Yep.
and then whenever I ask you something, then I'm gonna try to translate it, real quick so that people can follow. Esta es una página bilingüe de artes curativas. El colectivo es un colectivo de artistas, sanadores. Tenemos gente de las artes espirituales. Tenemos curanderos. We have healers. We have people of the area of spiritual science. The Healing Arts, we're all healers. And in these times of pandemic, basically what we're doing is people will all try, everybody's going to have to try to heal somehow. Family, society, relationships, everybody. Ahora todos nos convertimos en sanadores, porque de alguna manera u otra tenemos que tratar de sanar a la familia, a la sociedad, por medio de las artes espirituales, las ciencias como la partería también, que son esas ciencias que están regresando ahora a la comunidad. These sciences and some of these practices were ancestral practices that for a long time were, I won't say neglected, but for a long time, people didn't even pay attention to the important work that a midwife has to do in a community. In our communities, in an ancestral communities, a midwife was like vital staff of the community. Así que ahora vamos a darnos cuenta que las parteras y algunas profesiones que quizá ya la gente no le ponía tanta atención, ahora nos damos cuenta de la importancia. I'm trying to get closer to the light. Yeah, sorry. Sí. La importancia de las parteras en las comunidades, de las profesiones estas de primera línea. Let me put on some light here. I'm going to try to put some more light because I think this is kind of dark here. Here you go. That's better. Así que vamos a comenzar este programa. We're going to start this program by introducing Jahmanna to the community so that they know who you are, what you do. And she's all the way in Detroit. Jahmanna está con nosotros desde Detroit. Estás en Detroit, en Michigan, ¿verdad? You're in Michigan.
Yeah, right now I'm living in Ypsilanti. My home base is in Ypsilanti, but I serve Detroit mostly because that's where my clients are.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit about you, and then I'll just try to translate little by little, bits and pieces so people can understand.
Sure. My desire to become a midwife came when I was like 15 years old. Hi.
Hi.
Somebody said, hi, Jahmanna. I actually went to an open school, an alternative high school. And a part of the program that I was a part of was a community education base. So you could go and you could learn anything you wanted from the community. And people in the community would offer classes. And at that time, let me see, there were 4 children at my school that were children of midwives.
Wow.
And, so they put on an introduction to midwifery class. And I remember sitting in that class and like the ancestors just hit me on my head.
They just hit you in the head.
I just realized like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my work. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Wow.
And from that day on, I devoured I actually did a lot of research on birth, like prehistorical birth. I wanted like of where it came from. I did a lot of research on that. I did a research on the rising of the midwife. I did a lot of research on the granny midwives because that is where midwifery started here in this country. We as slaves birthed our children for ourselves.
Exactly.
We also were hired out sometimes to, especially on the breeding farms, to help assist with births. And as you know, emancipation came and slavery was disarmed, and that
Okay.
slow process, we still were the forerunners on helping babies come into the world and helping families.
Okay.
And mhm.
Okay, I'm going to translate a little bit for people to understand. Básicamente lo que Jahmanna nos dice es que cuando ella estaba en la escuela, ella tuvo la suerte de estar en una escuela como de distrito, donde la gente podía tomar cualquier clase. Y una de las clases, y varios de los muchachos que estaban ahí eran hijos de parteras, ¿verdad? It was midwife children, children of midwives, right? Así que
Yep. Mm-hmm.
pudo también compenetrarse con esa gente y entonces también comenzar a estudiar desde muy temprano lo que era la partería. Eh, Particularmente porque nosotros venimos de comunidades que fueron esclavizadas y había fincas donde la gente se dedicaba a prácticamente procrear niños solamente para volverlos esclavos. Y en esas fincas, breeding farms, la gente tuvo que aprender a tener a sus muchachos y a atenderlos, a hacer todos los servicios que son pre y posparto. So basically, yeah, we come from our history is pretty interesting because we have those breeding farms and all the entire setting is just unique. Let's say, let's put it that way. It's very unique to see how Black people it was very indigenous to us, right? Midwifery was something very, very indigenous to Black people. Era algo muy autóctono para nosotros, la partería. Tell us about that, Jahmanna.
This is what we did. This is what we did. This is what we had to do. And this is how we took care of each other, how we built community. You know, how you introduced the midwife, that is true. The midwife was not only the one that helped the babies, but was the one that would even watch the babies, get resources for the parents, all kinds of things. And the thing that people don't understand, the statistics from the granny midwives that have taken care of our Black people here in America, there's no infant mortality. There is no maternal mortality. Not one of them lost, not one.
Not for the grannies? I mean, what was her name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's plenty. There's plenty of granny midwives all over the place, all in the South, in Alabama, in Tennessee, in Texas. The statistics for historically for granny midwives has been supreme.
But we still have a lot of granny midwives, and you're saying that we still have a lot across the South?
We don't have granny midwives anymore. What happened is they were eradicated by the institution.
Right.
What they did is they took away the rights for Black women to tend to Black women. They made them get training. And then once they got training, they stopped providing licenses. And once they stopped providing licenses, it was illegal to practice.
Okay.
So actually now, right now in the United States, all of the southern states, actually, it's illegal to practice midwifery. In some of them, most of them. Yes.
Oh my God. Lo que dice ella es que nuestra historia viene realmente llena de esta historia de lo que llaman las granny midwives, son unas parteras abuelas, pues, que militaban y estaban en los pueblos y que no había prácticamente mortalidad, porque ahora vamos a hablar de la mortalidad infantil. We're going to talk about that. Pero con estas señoras, estas matronas, estas parteras de antaño, vamos a poner las parteras de antaño, no había prácticamente ni mortalidad infantil y muy poca mortalidad entre las parturientas, entre las mujeres que estaban encinta. Entonces, ahora dice ella que se ha vuelto ilegal practicar la partería en muchos estados del sur, que todavía están peleando por eso. You guys are still fighting that. Y es terrible. Así que they're saying, yeah, there are 100, only 3 Black midwives. Son muy pocas parteras y muy pocas parteras negras o afrodescendientes por la cantidad de población que hay. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about is the inequality, because I know I was looking at a comment by, I think it was a representative from the House of Representatives. I think his name is Hastings. And he was saying that the U.S. has one of the worst maternal death rates in the world. Una de las peores tasas de mortalidad materna. Yes. I didn't know that. Yo no sabía eso, que una de las peores tasas.
Detroit is bad. Detroit is one of the top. So
wow.
Yeah. Detroit is really bad.
I am shocked. I mean, I'm shocked because I didn't know that midwifery was actually illegal in some parts of the states.
Yes,
It
it is.
it still
We
is.
just got we just got licensure this past year, so we are now licensed. But I'll tell you what, it hasn't really changed much of anything. at least,
Really?
at least, at least for us Black midwives, it hasn't really changed much of anything. We still out here doing what we do, and the licensing is supposed to grant us more visibility, the ability to work with the hospitals, but that the climate is still not ready for that.
It's not conducive to. It's
No.
not conducive. It's not even conducive to. You guys have to train. You guys have to train more Black midwives to tend to the community. Ellas tienen que entrenar a más parteras negras o afrodescendientes para to service the community, para atender a la comunidad. Porque I don't know what happens with Black people and that high maternity rate. I mean, this is Alfie Hastings, and he's of the House of Representatives. When he said that, and I saw that comment that the U.S. has one of the worst maternal death rates, I was like, what is going on? And
Mm-hmm.
then among Black
It's
people,
crazy.
it's supposed to be worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be worse
It's
among Black people.
institutionalized racism. That's what it is. I think the only people that are below us are the indigenous women. The women on the
Wow.
res, the indigenous women have even worse mortality rate than we do. So it's us and
Wow.
them. And so yeah, that's one thing. The collective that I started with Heather Robinson and Cynthia Jackson, the Mosaic Midwifery Collective, our sole purpose, first of all, was to support each other as
Right.
midwives, and secondly was to help train the next generation of midwives. The three of us went through a lot of hell to be midwives, being trained by white midwives in the state.
Right.
And we're trying to train that, because not only are we trained by white midwives, they don't know how to take care of Black people. They just, and I'm not saying
Okay.
I'm not saying white midwives can't take care of Black people. I'm just saying that my training did not prepare me for what the kind of midwife I need to be for my community. I
So,
am learning that.
wow. So, lo que ella dice es que ahora esta nueva generación está entrenando a la nueva generación de parteras que viene ahora. Ellas fueron entrenadas por parteras blancas, pero lo que yo le voy a preguntar ahora, que es obvio que es un problema, es lo que ella dice, que ellas no saben cuidar a la negra. And that not knowing how to take care of Black people, that you have to explain that to me, because you're supposed to be able to take care of anybody. But so we do have some needs that are not taken care of. I guess that would be it, right?
It is. And because what the thing is just, it's not a cultural, you can't take care of somebody if you don't understand their day, their everyday, how they walk in the world, how they are in the world, how the world perceives them, how they're treated. If you really don't have a full understanding of that, you can't see the full picture of how to midwife somebody, because it's all
Exactly.
those things. When I come into a family's home and space, I become a part of their family for 9 months,
Oh, wow.
and
Exactly.
helping
Ella
them
dice que
navigate.
cuando ella entra a una casa, ella es parte de la familia por 9 meses y que es algo cultural totalmente. Y si tú no sabes cómo funciona la cultura de una casa o de una persona, tú no puedes realmente ayudar a la persona. You can't really help them if you don't know their culture. It's very hard. Okay.
Exactly. So that was the biggest thing. And, a lot of the white midwives that we worked with had great intentions. It's just that the fact that they just, for instance, a lot of them gave free services to Black women, because that's how a lot of white women think they're going to do something good for somebody, is make them have free and not pay for anything. And in the long run, that has hurt us Black midwives, because they think that we're going to get, no. I spent 6 years. No.
6 years. And you're not going to get paid. No. 6 años y no pagarles es duro. No, it's true. It's hard. Giving free services is not always the best thing. Dar servicios gratuitos, como hacían a veces las parteras blancas, pensando que ellas así ayudaban a la comunidad. Sí ayudaban, pero entonces ahora esperan que las parteras negras no cobren. Y si tienen que cobrar, you guys have to charge something, you have to live. Aquí hay
We
una
have to
pregunta.
live.
There's a question here. For how long do you think I should breastfeed my baby? Okay, well, that's
Yeah,
one
I
question.
answered. Yep.
Yeah,
I
you
answered.
did?
I told her. that,
Okay,
the suggestion is 2 years, but really
2
it's a
years.
relationship up to you and your baby.
Uh-huh. And what is the big difference between giving birth to Black or white mothers? Okay, somebody was asking here.
It's culture. It's
Es
culture.
culture. Es cultura. It's not always about just racism. It's also about knowing people's culture. You can't just walk into a place and think that because you studied nursing, you can be a nurse everywhere. No,
Exactly.
it's not true. No porque uno estudia enfermería, uno puede ser enfermera en todos lados. Si uno va a una comunidad indígena, ellos tienen otras necesidades que hay que cubrir. You know, indigenous people have other needs that need to be covered.
Exactly.
And black people have the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
In rural areas or in urban areas, and you know, it's just different. So yeah, I was shocked when I saw that. So how is the treatment for black women? They've been complaining a lot about a lot of black people dying, or babies dying, you know, at birth services in regular hospitals. What's going on there?
So I would encourage folks to follow Kira for Kira. He is a husband of a woman who he's a husband and a father, and he lost his wife due to complications, or actually just outright neglect by the hospital after she had a cesarean section. She ended up having an embolism and bled internally, I believe is what the story is. But if you follow her or follow him, he exposes lots and lots and lots. We just had a recent death in, I believe it was California, of a young woman who was tweeting about her experience at the hospital and passed away that day.
She tweeted that day and she passed away that same day. Oh my gosh.
A lot. See, what people don't understand is that the gynecology and obstetrician was created by the experience or the experimentation on black bodies.
Exactly.
And so that mentality that we don't feel pain, that we're lying, that all these things is what keeps us from getting the care we deserve, because we are not seen as human, we're seen as subhuman and not cared for properly in the hospital setting.
Ella lo que ella dice es que la obstetricia y esas ciencias se crearon experimentando sobre cuerpos de afrodescendientes. Y esa idea o esa noción de que nosotros no sentimos dolor o de que nos tratan de una manera a veces subhumana, viene de ahí. Y esa cultura hay que cambiarla porque le está haciendo mucho daño a la población negra, porque nosotros fuimos como los guinea pigs, fuimos como los animalitos de experimentación, y ahora esa cultura tiene que cambiar, tiene que ser más humana. It has to be more humane, more, I don't know what to call it, any humane.
They call it cultural competence. That's the new terminology.
Cultural competence. All right. Yes. All right. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Ok, lo llaman competencia cultural. Así que cuando vean ese término a nivel universitario o a nivel de capacitaciones, ya saben que la competencia cultural es muy importante para lidiar con comunidades en riesgo o comunidades afrodescendientes o indígenas o nativas de regiones. Así que ya sabemos. Cultural competence. I love the term. I love the term.
The term is great, but it has not yet sunken in really to.
Yeah.
It's so this is why our solution is to creating more black midwives to serve our community. That is the solution. We know how to take care of ourselves, and we are the ones that should do it. Period.
Esa es la solución. La solución que ellas encontraron entonces es entrenar a más parteras negras, punto. Más parteras afrodescendientes para que cuiden a nuestra propia gente y así no haya problemas, ni derrapajes, ni miscommunication, ni falta de entendimiento, ni mala comunicación, porque la gente no entiende la cultura, y si no entiendes la cultura no vas a cuidar bien a la persona. Yeah, all that is very interesting. My God, this is like a battlefield.
Oh, yes.
It is a battlefield. And how does the profession, other midwife, the larger group, I mean, how are you viewed? I mean, is it basically obstetricians against midwives, or what? How does that work?
So there are few in the state that I know of that are midwife-friendly obstetricians. Very, very few.
Okay.
There are nurse midwives that we have that work in the hospital setting, and that is a kind of midway. If you're not ready to have a baby at home, having a baby with a nurse midwife is probably the best thing to do.
Okay.
Nurse midwives aren't all the same, just like home birth midwives aren't all the same.
Exactly.
Because the difference is that the nurses still work for the institution.
Right. My mom.
Yeah.
My mom was a nurse midwife. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you still work with the institution. You have to work within those confinements.
Okay.
And as home birth midwives, our boundaries are different because they're created clinically, but they're also created by the relationship that we have with our clients.
Ah, ok, eso es lo que ella dice, que la relación es diferente. La enfermera partera o la obstetra, que es la enfermera obstetra, versus la partera, la diferencia es que, bueno, ella trabaja, la obstetra todavía trabaja para la institución. Mi mamá era enfermera obstetra y trabajaba para la institución. Conocía los métodos antiguos de las Granny Midwives, conocía el método de las matronas, pero también conocía el método de la institución and she had a license. Ella tenía una licencia para ejercer enfermería como obstetra. Pero ahora no todo el mundo es abierto a la partería, pero sí hay enfermeras obstetras que lo son. Lo que ella dice es que sí hay algunas que lo son y que si no estás listo para tener un bebé en casa con una dula o una partera, que uno puede también ir donde una enfermera obstetra que puede ayudar. I mean, I don't know if they can help at home or if it has to be at the institution.
It depends on the state. I know that Michigan, I believe, I'm not quite sure if nurse midwives can tend to people at home. I think they can, but there are states where if you have you can get your license taken away if you do a home birth. So it depends on what state you're in. So most nurse midwives will either work in a freestanding birth center, a birth center that's attached to the hospital or not, or will work in a hospital.
Okay. Si alguna trabaja en centros de nacimiento, adscritos al hospital, pero en algunos casos dice ella que te pueden quitar tu licencia si tú eres obstetra y haces un nacimiento en casa, te pueden quitar la licencia. Así que es bien importante entender eso. It's very, very important to understand that they can have their license revoked or taken away. Yeah, so they have to be very careful. Saludos a Liberación Africana who's joining us. One Perfect Love, yeah.
So this is Birth Beautiful Detroit is actually my girl Heather Robinson, which you should join.
Hey, Heather.
Girl. She says that they can in Michigan. So in our state, nurse midwives can attend home births outside of the hospital, but very few do.
Okay, muy pocas lo hacen fuera del hospital, pero porque en Michigan sí te pueden quitar la licencia. Estamos con Heather, que también está con nosotros aquí ahora, de Birth Beautiful Detroit. Hi, Heather. Y la Liberación Africana, aquí también el hermano Eric que está con nosotros, está Mike, aquí está Jackie, Donnie Roots, aquí estamos con Yamar. Saludos, shout out to everybody who's joining us.
What question did the young lady here ask?
I am Arab. Does that mean if I want to give birth in the U.S. by midwife, will I face a problem? That's what she's saying. I am Arab. Yeah, does that mean if I want to give birth in the U.S.? Oh, by a midwife. No, well, it depends. Where do you live? This is Indal Mahmoud. Indal Mahmoud. Yeah, she's Arab, and she's asking if she will have problems if she wants to have a midwife deliver her baby.
It depends on the state she's in.
Depende del estado.
Yeah.
It's going to depend on the state. Okay. Wow, this is amazing. So, well, Michigan, you got a lot of work to do there still. Because I know there's some more progressive states. Hay unos estados un poquito más progresivos y progresistas en ese sentido, pero Michigan todavía es un poco más, vamos a poner que no son, es porque son más tradicionalistas o quizá más convencionales, more conventional. So, yeah, it's not easy. Wow. So they have the collective.
So if you could tell her, she just needs to understand, I don't know what state she's in.
Yeah.
She says she's Saudi. Okay, I understand that, but I don't know what state you're in. Michigan, as far as the licensure, our licensure is beautiful. Most of our board is full of midwives. Actually, Heather is the only black midwife on the board because, there's only 3 of us. So she's the black midwife on the board, and we created licensure that was for midwives, ran by midwives, and governed by midwives. So we have probably the best licensing regs in the country.
So you created that licensing, it's like a licensing program that you guys created at the board?
No, here in the States, when you're creating licensure, you have to have a board that
Right.
overruns the licensure and makes sure everybody is following the rules and regulations.
The board,
right?
right.
So most of majority of our board is our midwives.
Okay,
So,
ellos
so we
tienen
are
una
governing
junta.
ourselves.
Ellos tienen una junta que regula las licencias que se emiten. Y dice que en esa junta la mayoría son parteras. Así que ellos están supervisando la forma en que se emiten estas licencias, pero sabemos que what you're saying basically is the licenses they're not recognized by all states. Las licencias no
Right.
son reconocidas en todos los estados, así que hay que tener cuidado cómo uno ejerce la partería en Estados Unidos para que no te metan presa, porque te pueden meter presa. You can go to jail. You can end up going to jail or accused of something, prosecuted.
Just the state right underneath us, Ohio, they're illegal in Ohio.
Es ilegal en Ohio.
They're fighting to get licensure there. So I mean, it's United States is a big country, and every state is so different. So I would say if you were coming to the United States, sis, I would look into what midwives are, how it is, what the climate's there in the state that you're going to move to.
Okay, es lo que ella dice que entonces cuando vienes a los Estados Unidos, si vienes de algún país árabe o Latinoamérica o África, lo que sea, o Europa, que traten de ver a qué estado van a ir y cuáles son las leyes del estado, porque hay unos donde en Ohio es prohibido, la partería es prohibida. And they can prosecute you, o sea, te pueden meter presa.
Absolutely.
They'll prosecute you. No, that's not cool. So what I saw the other day, and I saw it somewhere, is that from April 11th to 17th, you guys celebrated Black Maternal Health Week. I didn't even know you guys had that. I didn't even know you guys had that. But you guys have it. I was so proud. Vi del 11 al 17 de abril celebraron la Semana de la Maternidad Afro, para mujeres afro, y lo tenían en Estados Unidos, y le quería preguntar a Jahmanna cómo funciona eso, porque digo, aquí it's I know it's like it sounds like segregated, but it's Black Maternal Health Week. So what's the focus for that? ¿Cuál es el enfoque de esa semana de la maternidad afro? Tell us about it.
The focus is just the high maternal and infant mortality rate that we have in this country. It's the acknowledgement that it exists.
Right.
And it's the celebration of the players that are involved in changing policy, the midwives, the birth workers, the doulas, everybody that's involved in, pregnancy and birth and taking care of families. And the whole week is supposed to be about acknowledging the work, acknowledging specific people that have brought about big change, and bring more awareness to the fact that the statistics are so terrible still in this country, and they've gotten worse.
Okay, so lo que ella dice es que la Semana de la Maternidad Negra es para hacer un reconocimiento a todos los que trabajan en el área de la maternidad, ver también la alta incidencia o la alta tasa de mortalidad infantil y de la mortalidad materna que hay en el país, y sencillamente reconocer a todos los que están luchando en esa área. Es una semana, es del 11 al 17 de abril, lo vi que lo celebraron, and I'm very proud I actually took the time to celebrate that. Because really, I mean, all these women dying, we've had some few cases here in Panama that's not very reassuring. Aquí hemos tenido un par de casos que no nos sentimos muy bien con ellos, porque there's a lot of maybe malpractice, and I don't know if it's malpractice or if it's just cultural. You said it. You said something about culture and about how people don't understand how people, that we are lying, that we're feeling pain, and come on, we're not lying. Is that I don't know if they don't know the threshold, or I don't know what is it that they don't understand about.
I don't understand what if someone tells you they're in pain, they're in pain. I don't. What's so hard to translate about that? Wherever you come from, pain is pain. I just don't get it. So
no.
It's really it's ignorance, and the thing is that it gets kind of brushed under the rug because there's so many check boxes in the hospital that everybody's trying to check and do, and there's so many people that are there, but they're all.
And the insurance. And that insurance thing, because you got to be careful, it's like tippy-toeing around them. Es peligroso porque no entienden la cultura, y entonces están las compañías de seguro que también ellos tienen normas y yo entiendo que las enfermeras tienen que regirse por normas de tanto del hospital como de las compañías, pero al punto de dejar morir a la gente o que las cosas pasen a ese nivel no me parece correcto, y yo creo que hay que hay que educar mucho sobre cultura. We just have to, I think, educate people a lot about the culture. That's why I have these programs. And I try to, I mean, because people would say, but why are you talking about black midwives? You should be talking about all midwives. But it's not the same.
No.
Not for us. It's not.
And it's not to say that white women do not experience, birth violence. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Black people and Native people, we experience it at a more intense level and more often than white women, period. And that cannot be questioned because it's just facts.
What's that? That we experience what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
We experience more birth violence, neglect.
That's the word.
Yes.
That is the word I was looking for. Nosotros experimentamos más violencia a nivel de maternidad y a nivel de nacimientos que otra gente. Estamos en el mismo lugar que las mujeres indígenas y las mujeres negras tienen el mismo problema. Birth violence, that's the term that I was looking, because I was looking for that term. I couldn't come up with it, but es la violencia hacia la mujer y las parturientas. O sea, la gente no entiende o piensa que estamos inventando la vaina, y no sé qué están pensando, pero no es así. Y es cultural, and you just have, I guess, bedside manners. You have to know how to treat people, you have to know people's culture. There's so many things you have to know. It says we need to take care of our own. Yes.
We do best. Yes.
That's what we do best, take care of our own.
Yes.
Tenemos que cuidarnos entre nosotros mismos, entrenar a más gente de nuestra propia cultura para que se ocupen de nuestra gente y así no tenemos la excusa de que nos están tratando mal en otro lugar. No, definitely, all this is so interesting. So how do you strike that balance between the home? Because I know it's hard. I mean, some births are like, a birth can take 24 hours, and you have your own babies.
I do.
You have your own children. You're the mother of 9 children. I mean, I know. Wow. And how do you guys strike that balance? How do you guys do you girls rest enough? You guys need a really good support system, because I don't know how you do it.
Yes, I mean, and that's what Heather and Cynthia and I do. Here at home, my children have gotten used to it. It took me 6 years to get here, so this has been 6 years of mommy being gone for however long mommy's gone for. And when I come home, I need to sleep. I'm exhausted. My eyes are rolled back in my head. I mean, my children already know kind of the rhythm. But something that has helped them is, sharing the birth stories, sharing some photos I have permission to share, that they see the difference that I'm making. And I think it softens the blow when mommy's gone for multiple days at a time,
Okay. Mama, Omega Power, I know, es que es lo que ella dice. 6 años le tomó llegar a tener su licencia y estudiar. Y lo que yo le preguntaba era cómo hacía con la casa, entre la casa y el trabajo, porque las enfermeras llegan a casa y están bien cansadas. Y lo que ella me dice, bueno, los hijos, tienes que tener un buen sistema de apoyo en casa. Y luego tus hijos tienen que entender y tienen que apoyar, y que sus hijos sí entienden cuando ella llega y tiene que sencillamente entender que mommy has to rest, mi mamá tiene que descansar, y la apoyan en eso y tener sencillamente un buen sistema de apoyo. Y las compañeras, the ladies that are on the forum, on the Mosaic, the Midwife Collective, las que están en el colectivo de parteras también ayudan bastante porque ellas se apoyan entre ellas. So I'm really glad that you guys have that collective going on, because you guys need support. You need more laws to be voted in your favor, of course. But at the same time, you also need community to come together. I guess the community, that would be the thing, que la comunidad apoye más, for the community to support more.
Yes.
So how many births do you have per month? ¿Cuántos nacimientos hay al mes?
So I know me, Cynthia, and Heather only take 4 clients, sometimes 5 a month.
Wow, that's a lot. That's 1 per week, right?
It is a lot. And what happens is that a lot of times we help each other. So there are times if I have 3 births a month and Heather has 4 births a month, there's a very strong possibility that I'll be attending 2 of those births. So that means I actually have 5 births that month.
Wow, okay. Sí, porque sí, ella lo que dice es que le pregunté es cuántos nacimientos hay al mes. Ella dice que pueden haber como 4, deben ser 4, pero si ella va y asiste a una compañera, entonces son 5. That's a lot. Girl, how do you manage, girl?
Well, when I go as a second midwife, I usually going, after a lot of the work is done and the baby's about to be born, because that's when you need another set of eyes, another set of hands, is because now we have mommy and baby to tend to. So when you're assisting, there is there's graciousness in that. But when it's your client, whew,
Girl.
you're there from the beginning to the end, and that's just what it is. So
yeah, they all get born on the same week.
yes, yep.
Los dos
We had
nacen
that
en la misma
happen.
semana.
Uh-huh. We had that
Wow.
happen, especially there. We had a few months where all of our babies were born in that week, and we were just going to birth after birth after birth, and that's just what it
Oh
was.
my God. Okay, what do families have to do to prepare? I know, wow, you have pre and postpartum services. Ustedes tienen servicio preparto y postparto. What are the pre birth services that you guys offer? ¿Cuáles son los servicios preparto que ustedes ofrecen?
The prenatals consist of us monitoring, the vitals of mama and baby. We feel mama's belly and see what position the baby is in, and give suggestions, especially if she's closer to birth, what she could do to help the baby move into a more optimal position for birth. And in one prenatal, I can be a counselor, I can be somebody's mommy, I could be somebody's auntie or sister as they lead. Pregnancy brings out so much of it's a rite of passage. So you go through so much emotionally and spiritually that that's also our work as midwives, is to hold space for that kind of growth. So not only are we tending to their physical bodies, we're tending to their emotional and spiritual bodies as well, and that's what we do prenatally to prepare them for birth.
Eso es muy importante lo que dice, porque un rites of passage es como una especie de rito en lo que uno pasa a otra etapa. Uno está pasando de la etapa de ser the maiden to the mom, porque uno pasa de ser de una joven a ser madre, y ya ese es un rites of passage for us. Y tiene que ayudarlos espiritualmente y también emocionalmente. Algunos de los servicios prenatales obviamente incluyen los signos vitales del bebé, ayudar al bebé a moverse a una posición óptima para el parto, ayudar a la madre emocionalmente. Aquí nos preguntan, what type of herbs do you guys use? Just herbs, okay. Different herbs that you guys know.
Herbs. There's so many. I can tell you, I can write down my favorite. Like angelica is good to get the placenta out.
Angelica.
Actually, cinnamon is good for bleeding, for a certain type of bleeding.
Okay. Okay. Ella dice que Angélica para el parto y la canela para todo lo que es. Muchas gracias a Andrea de Target Solutions. She's Target Language Solutions. Andrea Taylor is here with us. You are amazing, Jahmanna. Yeah, 9 kids. She knows you. Ella te conoce muy bien, Andrea Taylor. She knows you. You're so resilient. Así que estábamos hablando de algunas de las hierbas que podemos usar. Angélica para el parto, la canela para lo que es el sangrado. What else? What herbs can we use?
Cramp bark is another good one for bleeding. Motherwort. A lot of the herbs I use are
Artemisa. Yeah, okay, las que son para el sangrado. Okay, para evitar los sangrados. Is it to prevent bleeding? It's not actually to prevent the bleeding. It's just to control it, right? Or
correct. So I have available to me Pitocin, which is the synthetic oxytocin, which is what causes contractions, and that's what reduces bleeding. I do carry that medicine, but I don't use it very often because I'm very attentive to my mommies after birth. My hands, I feel the uterus and help any clots or anything get out of the uterus. I make sure that the uterus is firm, and if the body's responding differently, then I go straight to my herbs. So it just depends on what is going on.
Dice ella que depende de lo que está pasando, porque ella tiene oxitocin, que es una hierba que se utiliza, es un medicamento, una droga que se utiliza para lo de las contracciones, pero ella dice que ella no la usa realmente. And my mom used to say that hay que usar sus manos. You have to use your hands. Feel, because this is more about feeling. Esto es tienes que sentir. Everything is about feeling. I mean, you're a healer. I'm a healer. I know. You have to feel. If you can't feel, you're dead. I mean, you can't do this. Si no puedes sentir, no puedes hacer este trabajo. Y tienes que usar tus manos, tienes que usar tu intuición, tienes que preparar todo. And how do you prepare? ¿Cómo preparan ustedes ese entorno, that setting for having babies? That has to be some job at home to just prepare the area, cleanse it properly, have everybody ready emotionally. How do you guys do that?
But we talk about it ahead of time. That's what the prenatal period time is about.
Prenatal.
If children are involved and the parents or the mom want the children involved, we get the children involved. So they're involved in the prenatals. They're helping me take blood pressure. They're feeling their sibling in the belly. We have conversations about what kind of environment helps birth. So you want people around you that respect your privacy, that are going to be quiet and peaceful. And, you know, you can ask Heather, like, in a minute, I'll kick anybody out the house. I don't care if they're your mama, your grandmama. If they're not behaving themselves and they're putting you and your baby in danger, they got to go.
They
so
got
I ain't
to
got
go.
no problem with
They
that.
ain't got time for that.
A lot of tough love.
Ella me dice que realmente si hay que patear a alguien y sacarlo de la casa cuando viene el parto, se van, porque dice, si no vas a respetar el entorno y no vas a respetar y no vas, you can't keep quiet, si no puedes quedarte tranquilo, no vas a respetar el entorno, you got to go, tienes que irte. Y ellas dicen que ellas no juegan con eso, si en algún momento tienen que sacar a alguien de la casa o váyanse para otro cuarto, me lo despachan y lo despachan. Y eso es maravilloso. Yo pienso que es que hay que tener carácter. You just have to have that character, that force. Because mommies, they're dealing with so much at that time. At that moment, they're dealing with all that. And I know it was hard for me. And thank God I had my ancestors with me because my mom was not here. But, you know, they were there in spirit and it was hard. But, you know, I know it's hard.
As a midwife, that's my job, is to be the mama's voice. You know, when she can't speak for herself, I have to be her voice. You know, I really like to prepare my people ahead of time so that they have these conversations with the people in their household, their parents. I really love when my families let grandmas sit on prenatals and they can understand that, you know, I'm not just carrying scissors, a string, and a bowl when I come to your house. I have instruments that are sterile. I know what I'm doing.
Yay! I studied 6 years for this. Ella dice que no, es que es verdad, uno estudia 6 años, pero uno llega y uno no solamente tiene los instrumentos con uno viene preparado mental, física, espiritual, todo tiene que ser una preparación completa, porque vas a entrar a la casa de una persona, you're going into somebody's home.
Yes.
That is, and then every home is different. Some homes are, you know, the environment, you're like, oh boy, you look to the right and to the left, 12 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and you're like, oof, boy, this is something else. It's not easy.
I recently helped a single mom, and I didn't have anybody for that month to, you know, myself. I was assisting other midwives, but I only had one client. So I took her on, you know, pretty late in the game. She was such a dear, beloved spirit that I just fell in love with her and her babies. She has 3 babies. This is the 4th one on her own.
On her own?
On her own. And so I knew it was going to be a lot of work. And oh my God, it was a lot of work. And mostly it was because the children, the grandmother didn't get the children out of the house in time. And it stalled a lot of her labor. And also, you know, I think for the first time in her life, she felt safe enough to go through some emotions that she had pent up that were actually in the way of opening up and allowing her baby to come through her body. So we not only dealt with that, we dealt with spiritual stuff and emotional stuff.
That birth en ese momento es tan delicado porque dice que ella tuvo que atender a una señora que era mamá soltera y ya creo que es su 3er parto y es soltera. Y fue difícil con los niños porque la abuela no llegó, no sé qué problema hubo con la abuelita. Y dice que era difícil porque emocionalmente sí se sintió lo suficientemente tranquila y quizá también porque hay una alineación entre Jahmanna y ella, que ella sintió que tenía por primera vez la libertad de experimentar ciertas emociones. And that is the part. Esa parte es bien complicada because it's a lot of responsibility, and the spiritual, you guys have to be like tuned in. You have to tune in spiritually, because it's like when I go to a home and I see left and right and I'm like, yeah, these people are not in tune with this, and it's hard. The birth canal, I mean, that time, that's critical time. And if it doesn't open or something is restraining it, that baby can suffer.
And you know, this little one was coming. We had her in a pool. He was coming down. I felt him coming down, and then all of a sudden, it stopped.
It stops. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Stopped coming. And so I got her out of the tub. I got her on her bed. I told her that she needed to rest before we made any decisions because she was getting tired, and it seemed like she almost wanted to transfer to the hospital, but I wanted to give her some time to think about it and rest herself.
Right.
And I come back in. She calls me back in. She literally embraces me. You know, I'm pregnant right now. So she literally embraces me, and her belly is like squishing up on my belly. She's pulling me in so tight. I can feel her heartbeat on my heart. And her water breaks.
And her water breaks. There you go.
And the baby comes.
And the baby comes. And the baby comes. Es una cosa maravillosa.
She just needed a hug from her midwife, and then her baby
ella nada más necesitaba un abrazo porque ella dice que en ese momento los bebés, yo los he visto, I feel them, yo siento que paran y no vienen y no van a salir. Y es porque tiene que haber un release o tiene que haber una liberación de algún tipo. Y ella tuvo que, en ese momento la abrazó, el agua se rompió fuentes y el bebé vino. Porque, pero es que es duro, no es fácil. None of this is easy. My God, I mean, the emotional, sometimes we can be emotional wrecks ourselves as healers, and that's why we need time to, I mean, I am going to encourage all of you to take time to recover, to regroup, time for yourself. Please hit that water, that water fountain, that beach, that river. I am craving the water right now. I mean, yo necesito el agua. I need that water because it's hard. I mean, I take all this energy that I work with and I don't have anywhere to just release it. Ellas tienen que poder liberar toda esta energía. Es una cosa, es tan difícil. I'm so proud of you guys. I mean, I'm so proud that you are fighting for our communities, que ustedes están peleando por nuestras comunidades y que se mantienen ahí en el frente de batalla. And then with this COVID thing going on, gosh, this must be hard. Con este COVID tiene que ser difícil la situación.
Yeah, I had a huge, because I was there at her house for 29 hours, and I had a
29 hours, 29 horas.
All around my face from the mask, from having a mask on my face. My face was all bruised and indented, so
I can imagine. It's no joke. But you guys are making it. After that, then comes we're going to end with the postpartum services. You guys have to like tend to the babies and the mom. Do you have to go maybe also teach them to breastfeed? That's not easy. The breastfeeding and the cook, you know, what they should supposed to cook for the children. No es fácil porque tiene los servicios postpartos, entonces posteriormente donde tienes que aprender, tienes que enseñar a la mamá cómo darle el pecho al bebé, qué tienen que cocinar, what they're supposed to eat, qué tienen que comer. How does that go? Is that easy? I guess that's easier. I mean, that's the easiest part.
It totally depends on the situation. I always tell mamas, like, everybody has their time during their pregnancy. Either the pregnancy is going to stretch them, their birth is going to stretch them, or their postpartum time is going to stretch them. If you don't get stretched by all three of them, one of them is going to get you. You know, so because it's just a time of growth. It's a time of change and transformation and growth, and that's never easy.
No.
But, you know, what we do at home is I see mommies and babies 24 hours after the birth, 24 to 36 hours after the birth.
Okay.
I see them at 3 days. I see them at 7 days. I see them at 2 weeks. And because of COVID, I don't see them until 6 weeks now.
Okay.
So
entonces ella los ve.
A lot.
Ella ve bastante a los servicios postparto, ella los ve. Los partos pueden ser largos, pero después los tiene que ver a los pocos días, después a los 7 días, después a las 2 semanas, después a las 6 semanas. Ahora con el COVID no los ve tanto, tiene que esperar un poco para verlas, pero tiene que cubrir, o sea, hay que cubrir, you have to cover that, and then it's a rites of passage, and you really have to understand, es un rito, es como prácticamente una transformación, como una mariposa. Uno se transforma en mamá, y esto no es, you stop being the maiden, ya no eres la joven, you're the mother.
No. Every time I say, me voy, you know, I'm going to die. I said so many times in birth, and I look them straight and I say, yes, you are. You are going to die.
You are going to die.
And you are going to be born the mother that you are becoming. And that's what's happening.
Exactamente. It's true. Uno va a morir a la antigua vida que uno tenía y transformarse en madre. And I really have to send a shout out to all the moms, because I know this is International Moms Week. Mother's Day is on Sunday. El Día Internacional de la Madre es el 10 y yo realmente tengo que saludarlas a todas ustedes porque son unas guerreras. Mira, ustedes han peleado y han luchado por nuestra comunidad. No sé cómo lo han hecho todo, pero lo han hecho. Y con nuestros propios problemas que tenemos nosotras, pero and I really have to thank your families and your community for this because it's been, wow, it's a hell of a ride. So, yeah, no, definitely es una transformación, it's a transformation, and people have to step into those and fill those shoes now, and step into those shoes because step into the shoes, that's not some joke, and I think men have to understand that too, because when you have that strong arm of men with you, it really does make a difference. Sí hace una diferencia cuando los padres están, cuando los abuelos están, cuando los varones están. It's very important.
That's true. And men change too, and I talk with them too. I talk with my dads all the time about how they change.
That's right.
And I always what's interesting is that I've had several very young men, like early 20s, step up and be there for their women in ways that some 40-year-olds don't know how to be.
Exactly. That's it.
You know, and I congratulate them. I said, the best thing that you can do, you're doing right now, is by being present.
Exactly.
Thank you for being present. Thank you.
Es muy importante porque los hombres también cambian y algunos hombres, como el muchacho que vio, de unos muchachos de 20 años que no tienen mucha experiencia, pero estaban ahí como unos guerreros, y dice, lo más importante que tú has podido hacer es estar presente para tu esposa, para tu compañera, lo que sea tuyo, la mujer de tu vida que está ahí. Y si tú puedes hacer eso, already you're doing a lot. Ya estás haciendo bastante porque hay hombres que no están. And some men fall apart. Se desmoronan.
Absolutely.
They just fall.
And I tell them too, I'm your midwife too. If you have questions, you have concerns, if I look over at the daddy and he needs to step outside for a minute, I'll say, please, we got her. Go drink some water, go eat, come back in when you're ready,
Exactly. Sí, es bien importante que ellos también sepan que pueden salir, que pueden, si necesitan tomar un aire. Por eso es que la partera está ahí. Ese es su trabajo. That's your job.
Yes.
Your midwife is there to take care of you, the family, the environment, everything, to give orders, to kick people out, to bring people in. Bring people in. Es muy importante. So I'm so glad we had this conversation.
Me too. Thank you so much. It's so good to see your beautiful face, Janina.
Thank you. We love you guys. We love Heather and Cynthia and all of you guys. You're doing a great job. Todos ustedes están haciendo un trabajo maravilloso con nuestra comunidad. I'm a healer. I didn't want to become a healer, but I guess you don't choose this. They push you into this, and you lose everything.
Oh, yes.
You lose a lot. Until you accept this, you lose a lot. So
yeah.
It's hard, but, we're here. And we're here for the community, and we're here for our families. Love hearing the Spanish. Gracias. Hay que traducir un poquito para poder tener un podcast bilingüe para la comunidad.
Yes.
Así que, we're definitely so glad that you guys are out there supporting the families, and that we have angels posted out there in Michigan, and there's others too. And that you guys are continuing the work. So we encourage you y le damos gracias por el trabajo que hacen y las incentivamos a seguir adelante. Please go on with this work, and please take care of yourself, because I know you're with child too. So, you have to take care of you. This is not easy. This is not easy, but we're gonna get through it, and COVID is gonna end, and I just hope families keep taking care of themselves, and that we can keep together and just keep serving the community. So thank you guys. Thank you, Jahmanna. Hug the kids for me, all 9, all of them. I love you, Heather. Love you, Cynthia. All of you. Big hug to all of you. Shout out to all of you for the work that you guys are doing. And then we'll have other talks. Anytime you guys want to, link up and talk, I'm here. Cualquier momento que quieran hacer otro live, hacemos otro live. Así que we're gonna end this here, and then I just thank you. So and then may the ancestral energies always support you guys, okay? Que los ancestros la sigan apoyando. Love you, love you, love you guys. Love you to